Whenever I'm served a slice of cake with an icing rose on top, I feel slightly guilty about it, partially because of the extra calories and partly because it just seems too pretty to eat.
Well, all you need to do is explore the world of the Ottoman, Iranian or Indian cuisine, and you'll find that even real roses can add flavor to a meal. And we're not talking only about sweets here. Stand by for Yudika's petal-powered chicken.
Roses are red, violets are blue, and I'm making a feast for you. Roses symbolize love and romance, and rose essence is used in Indian desserts and curries too. Today on my menu, I'm making Murgh Gulabi, which is a korma-style curry flavored with rose essence and a sexy cardamom and rose crème brûlée to go with it. Let's get started on the crème brûlée. The ingredients are egg yolks, sugar, we've got a vanilla pod, some cardamom pods, rose essence, and fresh cream. First ingredient going into the pan, some fresh cream. Next, in goes the cardamom pods. Now you could flavor this with ginger, with cinnamon, or any flavoring you like. Now, the vanilla pod. Just gonna use half a vanilla pod for this. Just slice through and pop that into the pan. Next, in goes the rose essence. I'd say about half a teaspoon going in. Quite heavily scented. Now, let's give this a mix and bring it up to the boil. Most people feel quite intimidated by a crème brûlée, but it's one of the simplest desserts to make, and it's really impressive too. The trick is to keep everything super hot. So it's hot cream with hot water in the bain-marie as well, or in the roasting pan. Stir the cream through and make sure you're not getting any bits stuck to the bottom of the pan. It's come up to the boil, remove the pan and leave that to infuse for a second or two. Now moving on, we've got 6 egg yolks in here. In goes the sugar. And only do this when the creams come up to the boil, or the sugar will harden with the egg yolks. Smush it about, make sure it's perfectly smooth. Always add the hot cream to the egg yolk mixture and not the other way around, or you'll end up with scrambled eggs. Now, in goes the cream. Gently stir that through. We're also stirring this around just to dissolve the sugar slightly as well. Now, let's strain it. Pass the mixture through a sieve. That's to remove any eggy bits that might be left in that custard. Pour this back into the jug. I'm using the same jug, it saves on the washing up. And let's pour this into some ramekins. I used to scoop these into little bowls and it made a terrible mess. And the last one. Now, another little tip for you is to always use boiling water in the roasting pan. Now these go into the oven 140 degrees Celsius for 45 to 55 minutes. Let's get started with the Murgh Gulabi. Now the ingredients are, we've got some chicken fillet, desiccated coconut, rose essence, red chili powder, garam masala, coriander, some fried brown onion, we've got some cashew nuts, ginger and garlic paste, a bit of sugar, bay leaf cinnamon stick, and some cream. Now, the first thing we're going to do is get some boiling water into the brown onion and into the cashew nuts as well. Just gonna soak these off. Now, korma is really quite smooth, so we're going to liquidize this until it's in a smooth paste. Pop the brown onion into a blender. Get every little bit out. Lid back on and blitz. That looks perfect. Now, the cashew paste does take a little longer to soak through. I'd say about 10 to 12 minutes would be good enough for that. Switch on the pan. I'd say about a medium heat. Sunflower oil going in. Now, bay leaf and cinnamon stick going into the oil. Fry these until they turn a shade darker. One of the first ingredients to go into the oil is actually coconut, and coconut can burn quite easily. So we're going to keep it warm, but not really very hot. Now, the danger ingredient, coconut going in, always on the side of the pan. If your oil's too hot, the coconut will hit the oil and burn. The coconut starts to foam up in the pan, you get this beautiful coconut aroma, and it also turns a pale golden brown. Next ingredient, ginger and garlic paste going into the pan. And stir that through. Next, in goes the brown onion paste. We're going to cook the brown onion until it looks like it's split. There should be a slight oily layer around the onion, and then we're ready for the spices. But first, let's get the cashew nuts into the blender. You don't need to wash the blender out for this. Just pop it into the same blender. Let's take a peek. That looks really smooth. Perfect. Now, our onions are ready. I'm going to turn up the heat and get the spices into the pan. Red chili powder going in. I've turned up the heat. We're going to get the chicken fillet in and want it to seal as quickly as possible. Stir the chicken through. Use a wooden spoon, scrape the bottom of the pan. I'm cooking the chicken fillet without any water. That's to ensure that it's really tender. There's no need to add water to chicken fillet. It has enough moisture in it to cook. Next, in goes the coriander and the garam masala. Let's season with salt. I'd say about 1.5 teaspoons of coarse salt going in. The chicken's changed color on the outside. It's time to add the cashew paste. This is going to give us a really smooth sauce. Now stir the cashew paste through. I love the flavor of toasted cashew nuts with chicken. Now chicken fillet takes about 3 to 4 minutes to cook, and if you're cooking it for 30 minutes, you're cooking it for far too long. Now fresh cream going into our korma. Add the rose essence. Stir that through. The korma is now ready. Let's plate. Going to garnish with some gold leaf. Now you can get this at most good baking stores. Just touch a bit onto the chicken pieces. That's done. Now onto the crème brûlées. I've let these cool down and refrigerated them overnight. They're best served really, really cold. And here they are. Once you take them out the oven, they will wobble slightly in the center. Now, once you've refrigerated them, they set quite firmly. A teaspoon of sugar going onto the crème brûlée. Time to fire up the blowtorch. Now I'm using a plumber's torch for this. It really gets things heated up quite quickly. Now, leave this to stand so that the sugar sets. You can serve these with berries. Today I'm garnishing with rose petals. February is the month of love, and what says it better than red roses? The first time I ate a brulee, I had no idea how to do it. I actually had to dig out the entire coating on the top. Now I know you have to break it open. There we have it, the perfect crème brûlée. This has been infused with rose water, cardamom and vanilla. It's the perfect dessert for a Valentine's meal. I'm serving the Murgh Gulabi with a pilau-style rice, flavored with cinnamon, cumin and fresh herbs. It's time to enjoy the brulee.